Hi everyone and welcome to this video where I'm going to talk about the cheating allegations against Hans Niemann. If you don't know me, I'm FIDE Master Yosha from France and nice to meet you. So, obviously I cannot promise that I will give mathematical proof that Hans cheated because it's impossible, but I can guarantee that I will give you the most incriminating evidence publicly available against Hans Niemann. So it all started when a friend of mine, who is even more a nerd than me, asked me whether I saw this tweet, and back then it had 0 quotes, 0 like, so I was like, come on girl, no, only you have seen this tweet in response to a Boris Avrouk tweet from 2 weeks ago. But okay, I clicked the link and it brought us to this Google Sheet full of numbers that we struggled to make sense of at first, and then we understood what it was all about, and it brought us to Chessbase. So let's go there. There is this thing in Chessbase that I wasn't aware of before yesterday called Let's Check Analysis. Basically you go to Analyze, then you click Let's Check, it will bring the default engine, for me Stockfish 15, and then you click once more to Analyze Let's Check, and after a while you will get these numbers, the whole game analyzed, and this correlation, engine game correlation for white 49%, for black 37%. And it's a bit remindful of this, the famous Chesscom number that you see everywhere. But what does Chessbase say about this engine game correlation? Let's see. What does engine game correlation mean at the top of the notation after the Let's Check analysis? This value shows a relation between the moves made in the game and those suggested by the engines, plural. This correlation isn't a sign of computer cheating because strong players can reach high values in tactical simple games. There are historic games in which the correlation is above 70%. Only low values say anything because they are sufficient to disprove the illegal use of computers in a game. Among the top 10 grandmasters, it is usual to find they win their games with a correlation value of more than 50%. Even if different chess programs agree in suggesting the same variation for position, it does not mean that this must be the best moves. Sorry. The current record for the highest correlation, October 13th, 2011, is a 98% in the game Federer-Setterman Paris Championship 2010. This precision is apparent in Federer's other games in this tournament and results in an Elo performance of 28.59 that made him the clear winner. By the way, in case you don't know, in 2010 Federer was convicted of having cheated with the help of the engine. So I've spoken with someone who has analyzed thousands of games using this Let's Check analysis by Chessbase, and they told me the following. If you take a few dozens of consecutive games by someone, you will get approximately these results. So 98% is Sebastian Feller's record in Paris 2010, according to Chessbase. 72 to 75% its correspondence world champion before the engines. 72% is Bobby Fischer at his peak during his 20 consecutive winning streak, like against Taimanov, against Ben Carlsen. 70% is Magnus Carlsen at his best, 69% Garry Kasparov at his best, 62 to 67% Super Grandmaster, and 57 to 62% normal GM. So it's for many games in a row, like the average after if you take a few dozens of games, because obviously for only one game, basically more or less anything can happen. So now let's apply this analysis to Hans Niemann. So it's a game that Hans played 2 months ago in the Turkish Super League 2022. As you can see, he won his game against a Grandmaster rated 26-41, and he had a correlation of 49% against 37%, so very normal game that he won. In this game, he drew against Kuzubov with a 69% correlation against 61%, normal game. In this game, he drew against Maksudlu Perham with a correlation of 47 against 46%, normal game. In this game, he lost against Sanal with a correlation of 51% against 74% for Sanal, so obviously a great game by the Indian player, but obviously he doesn't play at this level for many games in a row. So what is a like perfect modern game by a grandmaster? Let's see. Magnus Carlsen last victory against Jan Nepomniachtchi. If you don't remember, it was like Magnus Carlsen, the best player ever, doing what he does best, which is pressing in endgame with a small advantage, so 2 bishops, space advantage, and then after a mistake by Jan Nepomniachtchi, Magnus won a pawn. Here a5 was forced and Magnus won a pawn, and then he pressed, and finally won a second pawn here, and that's it. Jan Nepomniachtchi resigned. So perfect game by Magnus Carlsen. 79%. Congratulations, Magnus. So obviously Magnus Carlsen doesn't play on average at this level, but for one game, one victory especially, it's normal for Magnus Carlsen. So now let's analyze this game by Hans Niemann, which was considered by many as very suspicious. If you don't know this game, it was Hans Niemann was black, and he plays this incredible maneuver like never seen before, like very creative, very computer-like, and obviously the best move according to the computer, which was to play g3, then knight to g4. Okay, you cannot take, but what's the point of knight g4? It is to go to h2, queen e3 attacks the rook moves, and then white rook moves, and the knight is taken h2, and it's very strange to play like this. But so what's the point of all this? Well, we'll see. Black now wins an exchange, but they have to give it back, and now we enter this endgame, rook to h6. You might think it's to take the pawn on d6, but no, because rook takes d6, would lose actually for black, because after knight g3 and g3, rook g3, the knight on h2 is lost, and white will emerge up a pawn. The point was to play rook to e6 to exchange the rook, and in this endgame black basically play without a knight because it's stuck, but white is playing without a king, and the king is a better piece, a better attacking piece in the endgame than the knight. So like it was the whole point of this incredible knight h2 maneuver, and Hans Niemann converted his advantage in with a perfect technique. Like great game, like, and for many people it was the most suspicious game by Hans Niemann. And okay, so poor Mishra, who is, by the way, in case you don't know, the youngest grandmaster ever. So poor Mishra resigned here. So what is the correlation? For black, 72%. So great game by Hans, but nothing too suspicious. So now let's see these games that Hans played against Mathieu Cornette, a very strong French grandmaster and a friend of mine. It was played at the CETTE Open 2020, symmetrical pawn structure, and Hans basically outplayed his opponent in perfect fashion. White sacked a pawn, and here there is a queen exchange, but obviously only white can be better thanks to the activity of their pieces. Like two perfect rooks against two disconnected rooks, even though black can still castle, and opposite colored bishop, which favorize activity, and yeah, so white regained their pawn, and then after a few moves, poor Mathieu Cornette resigned. And I asked Mathieu about this game, and he told me, well, I've been dominated like rarely, but it happened to me before, for instance against Vlad Kachev, and we're talking about a strong grandmaster who drew against MVL, who drew against Magnus Carlsen, so, you know, he's capable of playing at the same level, at least for one game, as the best player in the world. But he told me, okay, I felt that Hans was a much stronger player than me, but otherwise nothing too suspicious. Even though after the game, Mathieu asked his opponent whether his mistake was this move knight g4, which it is, yeah, it's a bad move, and Hans answered in his typical provocative way that no, it's not about knight g4, it's your opening is bad. And Mathieu was like, come on, you just squash me, like, don't be such a whatever. But okay, according to Mathieu, nothing suspicious about this game. So what is the score? Maybe 79%, like Magnus Carlsen got for his brilliant victory against Jan Nepomniachtchi, yeah? Or something like that. Well, 100%. Wow, perfect score, even better than Sebastian Federer when Sebastian was cheating. Like, and by the way, someone should tell Chessbase, because they still pretend in the help menu that the record is Sebastian Federer's 98%. No, it's not. It's Hans Niemann. But okay, it's not a proof of anything, because for one game, anything can happen. Has it happened 2 times? Well, let's see. Hans' game against Christopher Yu, US prodigy. As you can see, 100%. Let's just click through the game. Hans just crushed his opponent, obviously. And yeah, very quick victory, 22 moves, 100% correlation with according to Chessbase. And has it happened more than twice? Yeah. 3 times, as you can see, it's a victory in 27 moves with black by Hans Niemann against Miguel Soto. A 4th time, Hans' victory against Ostrovsky. A victory in 28 moves with black, checkmate. Another time with black still, victory against Martin Duque, I don't know. 20 moves victory with black. Another time a victory with white in 31 moves. Congratulations to Hans. Another time against Lieben in 2021, victory in 34 moves. Magnificent. Another time, white, 100% correlation, a victory in 38 moves. Congratulations. Another time, yeah, victory with white, 100% correlation, victory in 45 moves. Congratulations maybe to his opponent, I guess, to have resisted that many moves. And another time against a strong grandmaster, a victory with white in 37 moves. Wow. So now let's go back to this Google Sheets, which was not compiled by myself, but by Gambitman, a person with whom I've spoken a lot yesterday and who wants to remain anonymous. So all credits goes to them, and of course I put the link in the description so you can check by yourself, and you can even download the games to to see the last check analysis they have done on Chessbase, if you have Chessbase. So as you can see, it's a compilation of all this let's check analysis for Hans Niemann between 2019 to 2022. So there are these few 100% results, and another thing that is very strange, it's 5 tournaments in a row from the Philadelphia Open in July 2021. Hans played at an incredible level: 69%, 70%, 79%, 79%, 69%. So if you remember, 72 to 75%, it's correspondence world champion. 72%, it's Bobby Fischer doing his 20 consecutive winning streak. And here, for 5 tournaments in a row, Hans played at more than 73% on average. So it's simply incredible, and it made me wonder but how it's possible that Ken Regan, who is FIDE top anti-cheating expert and a great mathematician, has seen nothing. And so I took a look at Regan's results, who are publicly available on his website. So, and of course I put the link in the description. So what matters is the ROI, which for Niemann between 2019 and 2022, it's between 62.3 and 36.6. And as Regan explained in his Chessbase interview, 50% of Hans' results are above 50 and 50% are under 50, which is exactly what you would expect, because this ROI follows a normal distribution. So here we are on Wikipedia. It's a normal distribution centered on 0 with +1 sigma, +2 sigmas, -1 sigma, -2 sigmas. And for Regan's ROI, it's not 0, it's 50, and it's not +1 sigma, it's 55, it's 60, 65, 70, 45, 40, 35, 30. And according to Regan, Hans' results are just normal. Like, as you can see, there are 3 tournaments above 60, which is more or less what you would expect, like 2 or 3 tournaments like this above 60, and also 1 tournament above 40, but 2 tournaments at precisely 42.2, so normal results according to Regan. But if we take a look at the ROI according to Regan for these 5 tournaments, and even the 6th one, because it's also above 50, you see a different picture for these tournaments, because for the Philadelphia it's 57.9 ROI, which correspond to an odds of 1 in 18. So it's not, of course, it's not probability of cheating. It's the opposite, actually. If you consider a population of players who are non-cheaters, in 1 in every 18 tournament, you will see such a tournament as Hans had in Philadelphia. So you see, it's not at all a proof of cheating or an indication of cheating. It's the probability of it happening in case Hans doesn't cheat. So 1 in 18 is just, it happens, but the second tournament in a row is 1 in 7, and the third one 1 in 8, and 1 in 6. So as you can see, because you have to multiply the probabilities, it's getting stranger and stranger. The cumulative probabilities are less than 1% after 2 tournaments in a row, 1 in 1000 after 3 tournaments in a row, and after this 6 tournaments in a row. It's 1 in 77,000. So very strange thing. So you might be wondering, what is the probability that Hans has cheated knowing this? Well, we don't know. It all depends on your prior probability. For instance, if you believe that we live in a perfect world where nobody cheats, then the probability of Hans cheating knowing this, according to Regan, is still 0, because, well, nobody cheats. If you believe we live in a world where 1 in every 10,000 players cheats, and that Hans Niemann is an average player, then if we take like 80,000 players, 8 of them will cheat, and 1 of them will have this kind of results without cheating. So we have 9 players with these results, 8 of them are cheaters, 1 of them is a non-cheater. So if you take this 1 in 10,000 prior probability, then you will get 8 chance out of 9 that Hans is a cheater. So all this all this information that I gave you, thanks mainly to this Gambit man, it's not a mathematical proof of Hans having cheated, but just, let's say, very, not a proof, but maybe a very big evidence. Yeah, I think in English you have this difference between proof and evidence that we don't have in French. For us it's just preuve, but in English I would say that the evidence is high, but yeah, not a proof, so do what you want with it. But you might be wondering, what about his game against Magnus Carlsen? Let's see. In his game from the FTX Crypto Cup that was played on Chess24, that Hans won, the famous Chess Picks for Itself game, Hans had a Let's Check analysis score of 67% against 36% for the world champion. And in the even more famous game at the Singapore Cup, after which Magnus quit the tournament, Hans had a 71% Let's Check analysis result. So do what you want with this information, make up your own mind, whether Hans has ever cheated OTB, and whether he cheated against the world champion. I hope you have found this new piece of evidence interesting, and thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Ciao.